evening and welcome to the Investors Group Athletic Center on the Fort Garry campus of the University of Manitoba. These are the Provincial 4A High School Basketball Finals, sponsored by the Dairy Farmers of Manitoba and the Manitoba High Schools Athletic Association. High school athletics, the other half of education. Hello everyone, I'm Jim Toth, your Shaw TV host for tonight's boys and girls 4A Provincial Final games. I'm brand new to this, but I have two wily veterans with me, Missy Penner and Lori May. And Missy, as we have with every Final Four March Madness tournament going on right now, there's always upsets that come into play, and it looks like that's what we have, some upset teams here tonight.
No question. We've got two new teams on the girls' side. 1 and 2 were knocked off in the semifinals. So tonight we feature number 3 ranked John Taylor, who defeated Dakota, and we've also got number 4 ranked Fort Richmond Centurions, who defeated the number 1 ranked Glenlawn Lions and your defending champions.
Of course, we have the same thing on the boys' side as well. So, Lori, exciting season this year, I would say, and all culminating tonight with tonight's finals.
Well, without doubt, it was a season that was great. As Missy said, we have new two teams here. In terms of this game this evening and on the girls' side, I believe both teams have an inside present, but it's the guard play that's going to tell. Both John Taylor and Fort Richmond. I think that's going to be their bread and butter.
See, how do you think both teams match up tonight in the girls' final?
I think it's always going to be a close one. The provincial finals have always come down to the wire, and I think having two new teams, they're both going to go for it, and they haven't won a provincial championship in a long time, so you're going to see them both put it on the line here.
Let us know a little bit about both coaches.
Both coaches, all of the coaches, as a matter of fact, they're all from the Bison program, and I know that the athletic director here at Manitoba, Colleen Dufresne, would be very proud of that. All of them have been coaching for anywhere from 10 to 15 years, and it's going to be exciting. The John Taylor girls, I can say, 10 years ago I was doing this game, and they were on the championship team for John Taylor. They were players.
Nice to see some teams back into it that maybe haven't been here for a while.
Definitely. I mean, these teams haven't won a championship in a long time. They haven't been in the championship final for many years. So it's nice to see two new teams here.
We're getting ready for tip-off, so we're going to let these two fine people go upstairs and get ready for that. Once again, you're watching the 2005 Provincial 4A High School Basketball Finals. The girls are about to tip off first. If you have any comments or suggestions for us here at Shaw TV on tonight's broadcast, feel free to call us at 480-3500 or email us at shawtv.wpg@sjrb.ca. Once again, you're watching the 2005 4A Provincial High School Basketball Championships.
All right, we're only seconds away from the public address announcer who will will name all the players that are going to be taken to the floor right away. Lori and I are sitting back just waiting for this exciting final to get started.
For the girls' final of the 2005 4A Provincial High School Basketball Championships. The battle for the girls' title is between the number 4 ranked Fort Richmond Collegiate Centurions and the number 3 ranked John Taylor Collegiate Pipers. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise and join Ashley Sharp in the singing of the Canadian National Anthem.
With glowing hearts we see thee rise.
Ashley Sharp singing "Oh Canada." Great voice.
She can really belt it out. She was here for the semifinals of the boys and girls
They
team.
made the finals by defeating the number 1 ranked Glenlaw Lions.
Looks like we're going to talk about the players right away.
Team members of Fort Richmond Centurions are number 3, Julie Rempel. Number 4, Tolu Ilelboye. Number 6, Deandra Twerden. Number 10, Shayna Robinson. Number 11, Kara Lodowicz. Number 13, Sabrina Legere. And number 14, Brittany Murray. Now let's meet the starting lineup for the number 4 ranked Fort Richmond Centurions. A 5'9" forward, number 5, Rufaro Sangawere. A 5'8" guard, number 7, Kayla Clausen. A 5'11" forward, number 8, Jen Foster. A 5'8" guard, number 9, Tessa Clausen. And a 5'9" forward, number 12, Stephanie Olford. The athletic therapist for the Centurions is Melissa Skraybeck. And the coaching staff, Allison Lafferty, Michelle Edwards, and Erica Ing. Ladies and gentlemen, the home team on the scoreboard is the John Taylor Collegiate Pipers. They made it to the finals by defeating the number 2 ranked Dakota Collegiate Lancers Thursday in the semifinal. Team members of the John Taylor Pipers are number 2, Carly Muth. Number 3, Danelle Johnson. Number 4, Sandra Morton. Number 5, Tremaine Francis. Number 13, Chelsea Breland. Number 21, Brenna Philp. Number 23, Katrina Robinson. And now let's meet the starting lineup for the number 3 ranked John Taylor Pipers. A 5'6" guard, number 1, Tanisha Robinson. A 5'8" guard, number 10, Crystal Hathaway. A 5'6" guard, number 11, Ashley Morris. A 5'10" forward, number 14, Haley Baker. And a 6'1" forward, number 15, Sarah McDonald. The coaches for John Taylor are Susie Leping and Jana Taylor.
We're provincial finalists, but this team has not done accomplishing.
Without any further ado, let's get this final of the 2005 4A Provincial High School Basketball Championships underway.
Let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Right there we had the introductions of both teams. We've got John Taylor in white with green, and they take on Fort Richmond Centurions, who are in black with a little bit of white.
It's going to be interesting here to see right off the hop the way in which John Taylor goes to the attack. Right here, Ashley Morrison, she moves the ball.
Morris being one of the top players in the province, number 7 in the top 10. There we get some good movement, then a steal there by Fort Richmond. It's Tessa Clausen. She gets it off to Foster. Foster with a shot. And the board going to Fort Richmond. Sangaway with the board and going up again is Foster.
Well, there's 2 quick shots from Jen. And she wanted to be, you see the nerves a little bit there. She wanted to be in control a little bit more.
Looked like she was a little off balance with those last shots, but again, it could have been the nerves, like you had mentioned, Lori.
Some good penetration there by Ashley Morrison again.
Tanisha gets the ball inside to Baker. Baker loses control of that. Tessa Clausen bringing the ball down. She gets it off to her sister, Kayla Clausen. Clausen to Foster. We'll see if Foster takes another shot. She skips it right across. Back to Clausen. An outside shot by Olford. And a nice board and a foul. We get our first foul of the game.
That's a good, first of all, a good shot by Olford out there. She can shoot the 3, there's no doubt about it. Jen Foster gets good position on the offensive glass, and she's got to put that right back up and try and score that as well.
When you have an open shot like that, you want to take advantage of it. Like like you said, she can shoot the three. It looks like she's also sporting a bit of a black eye.
Well, no, she got a cut above her eye there during the semifinals. She hit the floor hard.
Okay. We get our first point on the board, and good from the line. That's Jen Foster scoring for Fort Richmond. Morris with the ball. Gets it out to Robinson. Robinson back to Morris. Morris taking a look, trying to get it inside. Skips it out to Robinson, and another steal there by Richmond. That's Foster who came up with the ball. Tessa Clausen.
Good job by Jenna. She fronts down low, takes advantage of that pass. Oh, and we've got a shot here.
That was an outside three-point shot by Kayla Clausen. Also an honorable mention in our top 10. And we get a very early timeout being called by John Taylor.
Well, what we want to do here as the coach for John Taylor is we want to, that three-point advantage, we want to take that away.
Really cuts high post there. You got to steal.
We're going to listen in to John Taylor's timeout.
And then just a good strong move to the middle of the floor. Okay? Posting up all the time. When we reverse it, good slash hard by Haley down to the low post, and then Sarah, little flash up here, coming back the other way. Don't forget to penetrate, Tanisha, okay? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. I can stand up to call timeouts, right?
Here we heard Coach Janet Taylor, who you had mentioned in the opening, was a member of the team that was a provincial champion for John Taylor many years ago.
Yeah, she was the MVP of that particular tournament. She had herself one heck of a finish to her high school career.
What a way to go out, and that's what these two teams are looking to do tonight, is to get their first provincial championship, and now we had a shot go up by John Taylor and another foul being called.
You get a good look at Ashley there on your screen, and that's one thing that Ashley Morrison does. She penetrates, and of course, when on that penetration, she breaks down whatever the defense is, and she's very, very successful at that.
Only a 5'6" guard, but ranked number 7 player in the province. We got good movement of the ball by Fort Richmond. Looked like Clausen was going to drive in there. She gets it into Foster. Foster in turns, takes a good shot. Just misses, but there's Olford with the rebound, gets another shot, and going up right now again was Foster. Looked like she might have been fouled, but no call was made. Robinson with the ball. Robinson gets it back to Morris. Morris back to Robinson. They get it into the big girl, Sarah McDonald, at 6'1". And there we get Baker with the shot. That's 5-all. We are tied right now.
That's a good putback by Baker, and as you can see here, a little pressure from John Taylor.
But Richmond doing an outstanding job of just passing through that press.
Good check there by Sarah McDonald, letting her presence be known. Once again, Ashley penetrates.
Morris going straight to the hoop. And we get a timeout being called now by Fort Richmond. So 2 very early timeouts.
Well, as we can see, both coaches, they don't want either team to get any momentum whatsoever, and so they're calling these quick timeouts.
Kayla, you're up on that ball right now. Where's Kayla? Hey, you've got to stop that penetration. We have to be more aware of Sarah. We must have a front and a back at all times. Treat it more like you did with Amy, okay? So be aware of that. Now, when we get the ball on offense, let's make sure we take the patience. Back up to your block strong. That was a foul. Good job. Okay? Stop the penetration. Okay? FRC, 1, 2, 3.
Well, we've got Coach Lafferty. As you can see, that penetration that we talked about earlier, it can be a problem if you let it get started, and she wants to cut that off right away.
That's right, and she also mentioned be aware where Ashley Morris is. So she's the player you're going to see drive to the hoop, not afraid of going in amongst the trees. Right now we've got Clausen gets the ball to Sangaway, and an outside shot there by her sister Clausen. We've got twin sisters here, Kayla Clausen and Tessa Clausen for Fort Richmond.
Well, we've got to make sure that they're tight to Kayla because she can drop that at any time.
We get Robinson with the ball. Gets it back to Morris. Morris looking to drive. She's looking to go straight to the hoop. Looked like she was knocked a little bit, but still put up a good shot. Rebound there by 15. That was McDonald, and Richmond comes down with the ball. Clausen bringing the ball up the court.
Good offensive board by McDonald once again, but she's got to put those away.
And there, once again, Kayla Clausen. Another three-pointer. Some hot shooting already by Kayla.
If you're John Taylor, you've got to close down on her. You can't let her warm up.
That's right. She's 2 for 2 there, so they may want to go out on her. Morris with the ball. Gets it back out to Robinson. Gets it into McDonald. McDonald's got double team there. Goes up strong. Gets the rebound. Looks like they're fighting for it.
Offensively, Robinson did a much better job there in terms of her wing entry, but as you can see, that zone collapses very quickly, and what they're doing is lapsing on McDonald every time that she gets that ball inside.
Well, Sarah McDonald, one of the bigger players on the floor at 6'1", so they're going to try and double team her and stop her from getting an open shot inside. And there we got another shot. That was Rivero Sangaway.
Well, we were lucky if we were for Richmond there. We got a little bit of a deflection, but we'll take it.
Robinson looking to move things around here. They get it out. That's Hathaway looking to get rid of the ball. And there we get Centurions. Once again, that's a few steals that they've come up with.
Well, that zone that they're playing is very aggressive. They're just not simply laying back.
Richmond moving the ball around, and that ball almost dropped in again at the three-point line for Clausen. Morris bringing the ball up for John Taylor. Almost loses control, runs right into Holford, goes up strong. No foul being called, and almost a steal there by McDonald.
What Ashley has to do in that particular case is maybe take the ball out a little bit. She wasn't going to go anywhere with that penetration. Jen has to move the ball down here for Fort Richmond.
Right, plus if she was being double teamed at that point, that's got to leave one of her teammates open. There we get Morris going straight to, oh, it looked like she was almost going for the, thought she was going to get called on the charge. She deflected off the defender there, got the rebound and put it back up. 12-9 is the score right now for Fort Richmond.
Good patience here shown by Richmond as they break the pressure of John Taylor.
Clausen with the outside shot just misses, and we've got a foul being called on that play.
That's a good follow by Tessa. She's fouling, pardon me, her own shot, but of course as she lost her footing, she fouled.
Against Fort Richmond. Entering the game for John Taylor, number 5, Tremaine Francis.
The pace right now, as you see, is very hectic, and what John Taylor might want to do is move that ball around a little bit more, see if they can penetrate on this zone.
So we see Morris again, give it to Robinson. Robinson out to Francis, and Robinson going right in. Nice play by Robinson. Again, the press being put on by John Taylor. Robinson almost going for that steal. Good handle by Clausen, gets it out to her sister. And again, she's missed the last couple there, and we've got a bit of a scramble here. Alternating possession goes to John Taylor.
It's a good job right now by John Taylor in terms of the penetration. What the Clausen twins are going to have to do at the top of that zone for Fort Richmond is they're going to have to be more of a presence defensively.
John Taylor definitely not afraid of driving in right now. Really haven't taken a lot of outside shots, but they're definitely driving to the hoop. There you get Morris, swings it out to the left side there. Looked like they tried getting that into Francis, and then we get a foul called behind the play.
That's a good defensive play by Stephanie. She fronted her, checked down low, and excellent job by her stepping in front, stepping in the lane and causing that problem.
Get a look at official Jerry Monday. Tessa Clausen with the ball. She gets it out to Sangaway. Gets it into Foster. Foster taking an outside shot, a little short. John Taylor coming down with the rebound. Morris almost lost that ball, but again, going straight to the hoop, takes an outside shot. Like she was going in for the layup, stopped and took a shot there. Robinson with the ball. Gets it back to Morris, almost a steal by Clausen. A lot of pressure being put on by Fort Richmond right now.
Fort Richmond's doing a good job, but if we back that series up, that was a good follow-in by Sarah McDonald from John Taylor that managed
first personal
to
foul
get that offensive board.
Rufaro Sangarwe. Third team foul of the half charged against Fort Richmond.
We get Crystal Hathaway back into the game.
And returning to the game for John Taylor, number 10, Crystal Hathaway.
Plays Haley Baker. Hathaway inbounding the ball. The steal there by Tessa Clausen, number 6 player in the province, gets it back to her sister, Kayla Clausen. Kayla putting it right across to Sangaway. Sangaway out to number 4, Ilalea Poiwe. Back to Clausen. Clausen looking to drive, swings it back to her sister. Sangaway gets it inside again, and there's Tolu going up. Looked like she was blocked on that, and a foul being called behind there by Tolu Ilelaboye.
Good job by Sarah McDonald there to stay with the defensive board. Unfortunately, for Tito,
First personal foul on number 4, Tolu Ilelaboye. Fourth team foul of the half charged against Fort Richmond.
That'll be a good matchup there. Number 4, Ilelaboye at 6 feet against McDonald at 6'1". So we've got a good matchup going there. Robinson looking to drive, and
Tanisha Robinson.
drops that one in.
John Taylor is doing a great job.
Timeout,
here with the
Fort
penetration,
Richmond.
making that zone defense.
John Taylor leads 13-12.
See if we can listen in.
There's no showing of the zone. What we need is to get our wings started a little higher, get the overload going, use turnover reverses, fix that, and get them moving. And let's make sure we've got a high post coming as well. Take more time on offense and defensively, keep standing your ground, but then get it up. Hey, let's go.
Good short timeout here by Coach Lafferty. She handles their defense. The problem is that she doesn't want any more penetration. Offensively, she wants them to slow down a little bit. We've got a shot clock. Let's use it. Let's move the ball. Look for Clausen on the wing.
Sangaway gets the ball out to Clausen. Clausen looking to drive. No one. It looked like they almost weren't paying attention there.
Good move by Kyla.
Get Morris bringing the ball up for John Taylor. She dishes it out to Hathaway. Hathaway looking, gets it inside to Francis. Francis with the shot. And the rebound by Sangaway gets it back to Clausen. Clausen looking to bring the ball up for Fort Richmond. Dishes it out to her twin sister. Back to Clausen. Clausen takes an outside jumper. Just a little short, but Ilelaboye gets the rebound and goes up strong for Fort Richmond.
That's great offensive positioning by Ilelaboye. I'll tell you, there was a good job by her sliding down the middle, and that offensive board was hers.
At 6 feet, we hope that she gets a lot of boards for Fort Richmond.
What we've got to do now for Fort Richmond, we've got to stop penetration here. Good wing entry. First foul by Robinson.
There we get a block shot by Ilelaboye. Clausen bringing the ball up. Take their time here. Gets it out to Kayla. Back to Tessa. Tessa with the outside shot. Off the rim. Good board there by Robinson. And a collision. Both players hit hard.
Well, you know that right there, Clausen is not going to back up. You know that Ashley Morrison, she just knows one speed, and that's, I mean, she is unbelievable.
It looked like that was a pretty good collision. It looks like Tessa Clausen already has a bit of a knee injury there. Tessa Clausen with the ball right now, number 6 player in the province. Gets it to number 6, that's Dewanda Twerden.
What Sarah McDonald's going to have to do is lay a little bit more of a body on Ilelaboye, or she's going to just have a feast on those offensive boards.
Great, Francis going up strong with like a little bit of contact, no call.
That's a good closeout by Alford on the defensive glass.
And we get Clausen with the outside shot. That one, oh, it looked like that was going to drop in. Ilelaboye coming down with the rebound, looked like it was blocked. And then that was number 6, Dwerden with the basket for Richmond.
Good putback by Dwerden. Once again, McDonald, what she's going to have to do is keep Ilelaboye off those offensive boards.
There we get a foul being called on the play. That was Sarah McDonald going up for the shot.
That's a good job by Sarah. She had good position here, and she takes it hard to the offensive glass.
5th team foul of the half charged against Fort Richmond.
Get a look at Sarah McDonald at the line right now for John Taylor. Misses the first one. Haley Baker back into the game as she replaces Tremaine Francis. McDonald still at the line, taking that second shot. In and out. And a good board there by Dwerden. Clausen bringing the ball up for Richmond. Gets it inside. Nice move there by Dwerden, but called on the travel.
One step too many. She had the right idea, taking the ball to the middle of the floor.
It looked like she had an open lane to the basket, so it was a good move. Just needed to put the ball down a little quicker. There we've got Ashley Morris, John Taylor. She gets the ball out to Robinson. Robinson back to Morris. Morris to Robinson. They're moving the ball around on the outside now. See if they can get it inside. Almost another steal, but Robinson takes it right to the hoop. Is it going to drop in? It finally does.
Great penetration once again by John Taylor. They're not afraid to take that ball to the hoop.
Right, a bit of pressure again being put on by John Taylor. Good movement again by Richmond. Richmond showing no difficulty with that press. Clausen back out to Clausen, gets it to Alford. Alford looking to get it inside. Almost a bit of contact there, and a shot being taken by Jen Foster.
That's good ball movement by the Centurions. This is what Coach Lafferty wanted. She wanted a little more patience at the offensive end, and she wanted them to move the basketball.
That's right. Take a little bit of time off the clock. They've been taking a lot of early shots and a lot of very far outside shots, a lot of three-point attempts.
Foster's doing a good job defensively down at this other end here. She's getting in front of McDonald and making it hard for any wing or entry into the post area.
Here we see that was number 14 Baker getting the ball to Morris. Almost went through her legs. Robinson with the ball right now for John Taylor. John Taylor looking to get back into this one. They're just trailing by 4, and now they're only down by 2. 19-17. 8:51 left in this opening half. Clausen with the ball for Fort Richmond. Clausen getting it back to her sister, back to Alford. Alford to Foster. Foster taking a look to drive, gets up, goes up strong. Looked like John Taylor got a piece of that one.
It was the right idea for Jen. That's Morris again. What a surprise. She penetrates.
I actually thought she had an open player there, her teammate Robinson, but she went amongst 3 players. No fear at all. Good movement again. Foster with the ball. Waits for Tessa to get across the center line. Alford with the outside shot off the rim, but coming down with that ball was Kayla Clausen, and a steal there by Robinson. Robinson looking to drive and hits the side of the backboard. Now we've got Clausen looking to drive. She dishes it off to Foster. Foster with the outside shot, and she drains it.
That's a nice shot once again by Jen. She takes her time, but I can tell you right now that Coach Lafferty still wants them to slow down a little bit.
That's right. This is a very fast pace. These teams just not hesitating at all. Here we have a nice turnaround by Haley Baker for John Taylor. Alford with the ball. She gets it to Foster. Foster ahead to Clausen. Clausen looking to slow things up. Gets it to Clausen, out to Alford. Another outside shot, just a little short. And the rebound there by John Taylor. Number 10, Crystal Hathaway. Hathaway getting it up to Baker. Baker slowing things up, gets it back to Morris. Morris to Robinson. Look like they're trying to get it inside, but Foster doing a good job of covering McDonald. Morris again with the shot. And that ball going off John Taylor and out of bounds.
Once again, as we said earlier, both of the Clausen twins are going to have to be a little bit more active at the top of that zone, because we have the rest of the Centurions are working hard. Olford's been doing a good job on the weak side boards, and Foster's been doing a good job of really bothering McDonald, fronting her well. But the two twins are going to have to move a little bit more at the top of that zone.
Taking a lot of outside shots. They get it inside to Foster. Foster looking at going up strong, but good defense there by Baker.
That was a great seal by Jen Foster. Just unfortunately, she couldn't kiss it off.
Count the basket and one.
That's Morris for John Taylor, taking it once again to the rack. What we're going to have to do is we got to stop her, just as Coach Lafferty said in that last time out. The thing that can hurt Fort Richmond is penetration.
Foul of the half charged against Fort Richmond.
And Ashley Morris, I mean, we've seen it time and time again already in this game, that she is just not afraid of driving to the hoop. So I think Fort Richmond really needs to hustle back and play some defense.
They've got to step up on her, and they've got to make sure that they take that penetration away. Morris, as you said, she's not afraid to take it to the hole.
No, very gutsy player. So they're outside shot there by Clausen, and who comes down with it? None other than Ashley Morris, who's looking to drive to the hoop there. Clausen tried swatting that ball away. Now we've got Kayla Clausen with the ball. She's looking to slow things up, like they're trying to get it into Foster, looking to dish that off. Oh, great pass there, and a foul on the play. That was a great pass by Tessa Clausen.
Good ball movement that time by the Centurions, and that's what they're going to have to do. As Coach Lafferty said in that last timeout, once
first
again,
personal foul to number 10, Crystal Hathaway.
Let's move the ball. Let's not shoot the ball
foul
after
of the
one
half
pass.
charged against John Taylor.
Fort Richmond, you definitely see
Murray at the line shooting 2.
a lot of movement on the outside by the Clausen twins. It looks like they're really trying to get the ball inside to Foster, one of the bigger girls on the floor for Fort Richmond at 5'11". And there we get Foster again with the ball, turns around,
Jen
and
Foster.
Foster.
That's a good offensive rebound by Jen.
Morris for John Taylor.
Good job by Kyla as she moved into the middle there.
Here we get Clausen looking to drive, jumps up high. She had 2 people on her, and that ball went out of bounds off of Fort Richmond. I believe that went off number 5, Sangaway.
Well, with 5 minutes left here in the first half, we're all tied up, and as we can see, things are getting a little bit ragged at this time because those first 15 minutes just flew by.
That's for sure. And the referee's doing a really good job of letting these 2 teams play. We've got some veteran referees here. We've got Mike Mile, Martha Bradbury, and Jerry Monday. We get Clausen up to Sangaway, back to Foster. Foster taking a jump shot. It looked like she was going to penetrate there. Stop. Great jump shot by Foster. Just missed on that one. Ashley Morris for John Taylor. Gets it to Robinson. Robinson goes up strong. Looked like someone got a piece of her as she penetrated and went up to the hoop.
Well, you know that if you're Fort Richmond by now,
First personal foul to number 7,
one
Kayla
step,
Clausen.
they're taking the ball to the hole.
7th team foul of the half charged against Fort Richmond. Robinson at the line.
Robinson successful with the first foul shot. Back into the game. Number 15, Sarah McDonald. She replaces Haley Baker.
Will Fort Richmond be ready for some pressure after this main foul shot? Denisha makes it, and here comes the pressure.
John Taylor taking one of their first leads in this game, 25-23. They lead by 2, 4 minutes and 40 seconds left. And Foster going up strong. Looked like McDonald got a piece of that end. Also came down with the board. She gets it to Morris.
That was a good step around by Jen, but she can't look to the officials to call a foul there. She's got to play hard.
Right at 6'1", they're going to go after you anyhow when you're inside. Hathaway with the shot. Foster comes down with it. Gets it out to Clausen. Clausen looking to slow things up a little bit. She's taking a look. Gets it to her sister. Kayla with the outside shot. Again, off the rim and out. So really, Fort Richmond still taking a lot of quick shots.
But we can see that we're missing a lot because we're just a little bit tired. Great entry there by Robinson.
That was a great pass, and that ball looked like it had every intention of dropping in, went around the rim and out. But once again, McDonald came down with
second personal foul to number 8, Jen Foster.
Robinson.
8th team foul of the half charged against Fort
Jen
Richmond.
Foster sealed on her hip.
McDonald at the line
step,
shooting
took the ball
2.
up strong, and just unfortunately would not fall for her.
Mike Mile mentioning something to McDonald. I don't know if there's some kind of difficulty with something that she has on. Here we see some tape. We're getting a look
returning
at her
to the game
right
for
now.
Fort Richmond, number 12, Stephanie Olford, and number 4, Tolu Hilelboye.
We get some size back into the game for Fort Richmond. Tolu.
Hilelboye, she was a presence when she was on just a while ago, and it's going to be interesting how she manages to play against McDonald.
missing that first shot. We get a look out of her at the line right now. And misses the second one. And there's Lelaboye with the rebound. Gets it to Clausen. Clausen bringing the ball up right now for Fort Richmond. She gets it out to Sangaway. Sangaway takes a look. Looks like they're trying to get it inside. Get it to Clausen. Clausen back out. Open three and just a little short, but twin sister Clausen also goes up.
Clausen
Gets the rebound, goes up strong for Fort Richmond. Once again, we are tied at 25 apiece.
That was the one unfortunate thing for John Taylor. They had everyone blocked out, but on those long three-pointers, very often you don't know where that's going. And once again, Robinson doing a great job on that side entry.
And that's all you can ask your big player to do. McDonald having the size.
You're
trying to get the ball inside to her. She's going up strong. She's getting fouled. That puts her to the line. This is where you want to make sure you get some of these shots.
Jen Foster did a good job on Sarah when she was just in for a while. But you can see that if they're not fronting her, or at least not half fronting her, Robinson's doing a great job with the wing entry.
McDonald good with the first one and the second one.
Returning to the game for John
Back
Taylor,
into the game,
14,
Haley Baker. She replaces McDonald.
Good job right here by the coaches of John Taylor as they're trying to get fresh legs in here for this last 3 minutes of the first half.
Good Clausen. She gets it out to Sangaway. Sangaway with the outside shot. Again, a quick shot. Oh, and there we get, it almost looked like it was Olford that came down with that, and then Lelaboye got it. Now we got Robinson coming back for John Taylor. She looks to drive, but then decides to slow things up. Hathaway with the ball. Hathaway gets it inside. That was Francis with the shot. She got blocked. 2:41 left in this opening half.
Now that's a good strong block by Lelaboye that time.
Olford with the shot. Lelaboye comes down with the board, gets it out to Clausen. Clausen to Clausen. Outside shot and drains.
Kayla Clausen.
Good ball movement that time by Fort Richmond. What happens there, of course, you've got Kayla for the wide open three.
Robinson with the ball. Looking to get it inside to Francis. Hathaway gets it back to Robinson. Robinson takes it out. Trying to get that ball inside to Francis. Francis doing a good job of keeping that ball alive. Robinson to Morris. 1 second. Time count violation.
Much better job by Fort Richmond as we had girls, of course, fronting and stepping in the lane. And that's what we've got to do if we want to make sure that we can handle this team defensively. Do not allow penetration.
That was definitely a different play there. We're so used to seeing a lot of quick shots. That's one of the first time the shot clock is run down.
Good job by Lelaboye there. Is what she did. She posts up. Nice move.
30-27, Fort Richmond leading. Lelaboye comes down with that ball. She gets it to Olford. Back to Clausen. Clausen bringing the ball up for Fort Richmond. We'll see what the Centurions can do with just over a minute left. Sangaway gets it to Lelaboye and just misses that ball, but a great rebound by Francis. Morris coming down fast, coming down strong. She drives straight in, just a little too strong. Clausen with the ball.
What we're going to have to do now, if we're Haley Baker here, do not let Lelaboye back you up.
Clausen with an outside shot. Looked like Robinson got a piece of that, but Olford with the ball gets it back out to Clausen. Clausen gets that ball. Lelaboye with the good turnaround jumper. Misses that one, and some pressure being put on there. That's Sangaway who came down with that ball.
That's good hustle by Sangaway. Once again, Lelaboye, she's getting some great possession at the offensive end.
You want to use her as much as possible when she's on the floor at 6 feet. She's got some presence inside under the basket. And there we get a steal by Olford. See if she can keep this alive. But it goes right to Morris. Olford still out of the play. Now finally back in the court. Morris looking to drive. Looked like she was going to dish that ball off, and a foul being called on the play.
I think this foul's going to go. It's going to go
Third personal foul to number 9, Tessa Clausen.
It is going to go against Clausen.
10th team foul of the half charged against Fort Richmond.
Lelaboye. But they
sound like they said that was her third foul already.
That would be her third.
Boy, that's a player you don't want to lose on the floor. She's kind of the quarterback on the team. Tessa Clausen, number 6.
Well, this is going to be a big swing for Fort Richmond. They're lucky that, if anything, is fortunate it's happening with just a few seconds left in the first half, but that could change game plan drastically for the second half.
No question. 3 fouls very early. That's going to put her in a very delicate position at the start of the second half. She probably won't be on right away, I would assume.
That's a great defensive board by Yulaboye. That's out. It's going to go back to John Taylor. Watch out for Ashley Morris right here.
We've only got 4 seconds left. 30-28. Fort Richmond just ahead of John Taylor. Morris with the ball. It looked like she was fouled on the play by Rufero Sangaway.
Once again, as we said before, look out for Morris, because with only 5 seconds on the clock, you know that she's going to keep it, and you know she's going to the hoop.
Quite a difference in fouls here. 11 fouls to 5. So Fort Richmond definitely an aggressive team.
Well, as we said earlier, Missy, that has to do with also John Taylor. They're penetrating, and they're not going away from that game plan. They're forcing Fort Richmond, of course, to play tough defense, to move. Otherwise, if Fort Richmond doesn't, if they stand still, they're going to pick up fouls.
Morris missing both of those. Lelaboye coming down with the ball, and that is the half in the girls' championship final. We've got a score of 30-28. with Fort Richmond leading John Taylor. A very close half so far.
Well, it's what we expected, of course, from those teams. As we said earlier, it's going to be the play of the guards. As you can see, the Klassen twins for Fort Richmond, what they've got to do is they've simply got to slow down, move the ball around offensively, and when they have a wide open three, you can see that Kyla Ortesa, they can convert that. You see Jen Foster going off the court here. If you move that ball around, you're going to open up things in the middle for Jen. As far as John Taylor is concerned, penetrate, penetrate, penetrate.
That's for sure. Not really taking a lot of outside shots so far, but definitely not afraid of driving in, and it doesn't matter if there's 1, 2, or 3 defenders. They are going to the hoop, and no one's going to get in their way.
That's what they did in their semifinal game, and you're going to see them continue that.
At this point, we'd like to go courtside to Jim Toth, who's standing with one of the coaches, Jana Taylor.
Jana Taylor's joining me now, and Jana, a bit of a slow start for your team. You call a timeout, and then you guys seem to settle down.
Yeah, you know what? Nerves are going to factor into this a bit. This is a big game, lots of people in the stands. We just need to make sure that we're composed and settled for the next 20 minutes of basketball that we have to play in the second half.
How are you guys approaching the game? It looks like it's tough punching the ball inside. What's your strategy for the second half?
Well, I think we're going to continue to look to push the ball in transition. We've had some success on that in the first half. Defensively, though, is where we need to step it up. We've done a good job on the long shot, but unfortunately, we haven't had the weak side boards that we would hope to have had. We got to make sure we keep their big girls off the boards, and when we get the ball, get it to our point guard, look to push in transition.
2-point game. I don't suspect you thought it was going to be easy.
No, we knew. We've played these guys 3 times before this year. We played them in the conference final. This game's going to be tough right down to the wire, and so our girls are just going to keep working. Whatever happens in the second half happens, but we're going to play our style of game, hopefully, and for the next 20 minutes, and we'll see.
Thank you very much, Jana.
Thanks.
Good luck in the second half. Jana Taylor is one of the coaches for the Pipers girls basketball team. Of course, they trail right now 30-28. We're watching the 2005 4A Provincial Basketball Championships from the Investors Group Athletic Center. That's where we are at the University of Manitoba. We want to remind everybody, if you want some feedback, to give us a call, 480-3500, or to email us at shawtv.wpg@sjrb.ca. I'm Jim Toth. We'll be right back after this break.
this face, think about this. Regular eye health checkups by an optometrist are vital, whether you're having problems or not. An optometrist is a highly trained doctor who can detect eye disease even if you feel no symptoms. Every time you see this face, think about this. Your eyes deserve an optometrist. Make an appointment today.
There we get a look at the girls bracket and how these teams arrived here. We see that John Taylor beat Shaftesbury in the quarterfinals and Dakota in the semifinals, and Fort Richmond beat Oak Park, a team that we've seen a number of times in the final here in the quarterfinals, and then went on to beat our defending champions Glenlawn in the semifinals. So 1 and 2 out, 3 and 4 in, 3 and 4 having a battle here.
Well, we talk about the 3 and 4 being in, and a lot of people talk about the whole idea of upsets. As we talked about earlier, this particular year, both on the boys and the girls side, there were 7 or 8 teams that were battling it out for that particular number 1. I mean, I can remember partway through the year, Oak Park down at 9, jumping up to 1. We had Glenlawn, Fort Richmond, Vincent Massey. There were just a number of teams. A real surprise this year, of course, were the varsity girls out of Tuxedo Shaftesbury. They did a very good job. So just as on the boys, the girls, there were anywhere from 6 to 8 teams that could have that number 1 ranking.
And that really makes for an interesting season and provincial championship, because you never know. I mean, if we were to replay this next weekend, we could actually end up declaring a different champion than we do tonight. And that's the exact same for the boys. There was about 8 or 10 teams that really could have won this.
Well, there's no doubt. As you say, if we replay this next weekend, we could come up with a different champion. But this is the stage. This is the now. You've got to come to play.
No question. And the 2 teams that are here right now, John Taylor, number 3 against number 4, Fort Richmond. But again, those are really just numbers at this point in the season, because you've already said a couple of teams have already been at number 1 throughout the season. It's interchanged all the time. Oak Park going from 9 to 1, and now they're even out, you know, in the quarterfinals. So things have really been close and have really changed, and there are a number of teams that could take this one.
Well, we know that there are a lot of people that spend too much time and too much attention on rankings. And as I said, it's here, it's now that you've got to play. Now's the time. It's in March that you want to win. I mean, we can see the NCAA college game. We've seen a number of major upsets already in that particular tournament. And the bottom line is, it's who's ever going to play in that particular game. They're going to walk away the winner of that particular game.
Yeah, and quite often even we comment on, well, it's an upset, 1 and 2 aren't here, but it's not really an upset when you think about the fact that a lot of these teams have been ranked number 1 at some point in the season, so they just ended up at, you know, just prior to the provincials being ranked 3 and 4. But these 2 teams have been in the running all along.
Oh yeah, they've always have been there. They've been in the top 5 for most of the year. As you said, those positions were so exchangeable throughout the entire year. As far as this particular game is, you can see a 2-point game at halftime. I mean, Coach Taylor, of course, as she said, both her and Coach Leping, I mean, it's the fast pace, up tempo, push the ball. That's what got John Taylor here, and that's what they're going to continue with. As far as Fort Richmond is concerned, it's the good ball movement. They try and get the ball inside. If it's not there to Jen Foster or Toledo inside, what they're going to do is they got the Clausen twins that are going to hit it from the outside.
That's right. We've seen them move the ball around on the outside with Clausen twins, and Olford also taking some outside shots, but definitely trying to get the ball inside to Foster. Maybe we could talk a little bit about both teams, their overall records. We've got John Taylor with an overall record prior to Provincials, 19-11. They finished second at the Raider Classic Tournament, fourth at the John Taylor, and sixth at the St. Battelle Tournament. And on the other side, Fort Richmond, an overall record of 21-5, very impressive. They won the Pembina Trails Tournament and St. Battelle, finished second at the St. Mary's, and third at the John Taylor Tournament.
Well, it just shows you with the games that these teams are playing. I mean, you can't simply hide. You've got to come out and you've got to play, and you've got to play top-level competition. You've got to go to the big tournaments, and you've got to keep your game sharp, because you just can't turn it on. As I've said before, March is the month that you want to win at, but at the same time, it's not the month that you want to start playing.
That's for sure. I mean, and you hit the nail on the head. You've got to play against some of these top teams. If you want to get into the provincials, and if you're hoping to maybe even get in as a wild card, it's important that you've played the top team and at some point beat the top teams. Right now we'd like to go to the court side again with Jim Toth, who's standing by with an interview.
Allison Lafferty's with me now, head coach of Fort Richmond. Obviously a very close game. Your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, we knew it would be close, and they're putting a lot of pressure on us, so they're playing good, strong D. We've definitely got to make some adjustments with our defense, and we're letting them drive the hoop way too much right now, and that's what we talked about at halftime. So,
what are you guys going to have to do to make sure you ensure this 2-point lead holds up for provincial championship?
Sorry?
What are you going to have to do in the second half to make sure you ensure this 2-point lead stands up?
The girls have to play with composure, and they just have to play their game, and they have to know that what they do works, and they just have to stick with that, and they'll be fine.
Thank you very much, Allison. Good luck. Allison Lafferty, once again, is the head coach of the Fort Richmond Centurions. They currently have a 2-point lead, 30-28, over the John Taylor Pipers, and we're getting ready for the second half.
Thank you very much, Jim. That interview with Allison, coach of Fort Richmond. Lori, maybe you can tell us a little bit about what Fort Richmond does need to do. We already heard from Allison, but maybe in your view, what do they need to do to maintain this lead or maybe even increase this lead?
Well, as Coach Lafferty said, she hit the nail on the head when it comes to defensively. They cannot let the John Taylor Pipers penetrate. I mean, we saw that they managed to be able to move very well, and it resulted in a shot clock violation, and that's what they're going to have to do. The problem, however, for them is, of course, Tessa Klassen with 3 fouls. We need the top of that zone to be active, and we're going to just have to see just how active Tessa's going to be. Do not think that Coach Taylor and Coach Leping haven't told those girls to go at her, and they will. When you have somebody like Ashley Morrison who loves to penetrate, you know that that's going to happen. Down at the offensive end, I think Fort Richmond has to show a little bit of composure, and they have to move the ball a little bit more.
So they get a good shot, maybe don't rush the shot. Definitely, and I mean, you talk about Ashley Morris driving. If that's what they like to do, the whole intent then on defense is to make them do what they don't like to do. So make them shoot from the outside, and we did see the shot clock run down on them that one time. So very good point. These two teams ready to take to the court for the second half. 30-28, a lead by 2 for Fort Richmond. This one's still anyone's game. Anyone's game, and I'm telling you right now, the player that you're going to watch in the second half is Yula Boye. I would agree. They're going to try and get that ball into Tolu, Yula Boye, and we'll see what she can do at 6 feet. They're going to try and get that ball inside, and if they can't get the inside shot, we know with the Clausen twins, they can take the outside shot. So we've got twins in this matchup. We've also got twins in the next matchup with the Lothar brothers. There we get an outside shot.
Stephanie Olford for
with the shot.
3.
What a start there.
That's a great start for Richmond. You leave Olford alone, she's going to can that.
There, McDonald goes up strong. Looked like Alela Boye got a piece of that one, and there we get a jump ball. The possession going to John Taylor.
Strong defensive presence with Yula Boye and Foster on at the same time for Fort Richmond.
Actually, we talked about a good start for Fort Richmond with that outside three-pointer. I believe that's how they started the first half as well, with a couple of three-pointers that were drained by Clausen. Here we get another outside shot there by Hathaway for John Taylor. Coming down with the ball is Sangaway.
It's a Good job by Sangway, but we can see already with the two big girls on the floor at the same time now for Richmond, it makes penetration a little more difficult for John Taylor.
Oh, and there we get a nice shot there by Foster with the outside shot. Nice jumper, 35-28, the biggest lead I think we've seen so far. Robinson getting the ball into McDonald. McDonald going up strong because she had Alela Boye all over her.
Once again, I mean, it's just a great wing entry from Robinson. She's just doing a great job with that pass. But then at the same time, McDonald doing a good job sealing off whoever it is that she's playing against.
John Taylor doing a good job of putting on some pressure, and that ball being thrown off the backboard, it looked like.
It looked like Foster tried to hit somebody, hit the back of the backboard, went out. That's John Taylor's ball.
John Taylor gets it in. There we go again. Ashley Morris just driving in. Pressure being put on by the Pipers. Foster with the ball. She's looking for some help here, and a foul. I thought they were actually going to call her on a travel, but they called a foul. Good call by Bradbury.
What Kyla Clausen has to do, she has to come back and get this ball. We don't want Jen Foster working against that press. Now we've got Kyla with the ball.
Kayla Clausen gets it to Olford. Olford gets it back to Clausen. Clausen looking to drive, dishes it out to Olford. Olford with the outside three-pointer, and rains it again. She's 2 for 2 this half.
That's a great start by Stephanie and for Richmond.
Morris bringing the ball up for the Pipers. Gets it out to Robinson. Robinson, lead pass into McDonald, but two players all over her. Looked like both Foster and Alela Boye got a piece of that one. So being double teamed.
That defensive stop has to go to Kayla Clausen, who slid down on the weak side and managed to cause a little bit of problems there.
I like that we're
Kayla Clausen bringing the ball up. We don't see Tessa on at this point, but we mentioned that she's sitting at 3 fouls, and there we get an outside shot by Foster. So things really dropping in right now for Fort Richmond. And Janet Taylor has seen enough. John Taylor calls a timeout. We'll see if we can listen in to one of the timeouts here. We'll listen into the John Taylor timeout.
Listen carefully. And we can take a couple of times up the floor to figure out what we're in. 12 on the score, back to 2-3, no bump. On the score, 2-3, no bump. In transition, we pick up man. Okay, we can't let them get open looks because we don't know what we're in. Okay, let's focus up here defensively and get some stops. On the other end of the floor, okay, we're doing a good job going inside. Let's reverse the ball though this time. See if we can't get Haley a good strong slash down to the low post, and Sarah that flash up mid to high. Okay, and you look to penetrate. Little fake middle, go baseline. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
This is a good timeout once again by Coach Taylor. First of all, she wants to settle her team down, but more importantly, she wants to make sure that they're all on the same page.
That's right, you've got to plan ahead, know what you're going to do. And I think it was a great idea to call a timeout at this point, because that's one of the biggest leads that we've seen Fort Richmond, 40-32, an 8-point lead. It was a 2-point game, so they're definitely on fire shooting from the outside right now. We'll see what Ashley Morris can do as she brings the ball up for John Taylor. She gets it out to Robinson. They're definitely trying to get that ball inside to McDonald. Get a steal. Here goes Clausen straight to the hoop, uncontested, and puts it a little too hard there, but coming down with that one was Rivero Sangaway for Fort Richmond.
That's what Kayla does very well. She just simply stops, has a look, and steps up into the lane, and she can take that ball.
Morris gets a ball again to Hathaway.
That's a good job by Sangaway.
Sangaway really doing a good job on the defensive side, and Foster unable to hold on to that ball, goes out of bounds. John Taylor to inbound the ball, and we've got a sub coming into the game. Right now we have number 5, Tremaine Francis, back into the game.
Number 5, Tremaine Francis.
She was in the first half. She was also quite a presence on defense. Morris with the ball. Gets it to Robinson. Back to Morris. Morris looked like she was trying to push that ball straight back to Robinson. Robinson to Morris, looking to drive. Gets it into McDonald. McDonald goes up strong. 2-4, John Taylor.
That was was a good job by John Taylor offensively that time.
Oh, and there we almost had a steal by Tremaine Francis, but unfortunately got called on the foul. Olford inbounds the ball to Clausen. Kayla Clausen back to Olford. Olford back to Clausen. Clausen looking to drive. They leave her alone. She goes up, just misses it. There we get Robinson. Robinson looking to go straight to the hoop, but she is fouled on the play by Stephanie Olford.
That's actually a good foul by Stephanie. You don't want to give up the uncontested layup. And then what we're going to have, of course, is on the score. John Taylor would have been able to set their 1-2-2 press.
Look at Tanisha Robinson at the line. Misses the first, and that's exactly why it becomes a good foul, because you end up putting her to the line, and now she's missed one. So far it saved you a point. We'll see if it saves them two. And it does save her two. So a good foul. Clausen with the ball right now for Richmond. She puts it ahead to Olford. Olford looking to take that shot, but travels. Step left, step right.
Sangaway's done a really good job here for Richmond defensively.
No question, she's really done a good job for Richmond. Robinson with the ball right now. Back to Morris. Morris taking a look. Gets it to Baker. Baker back to Morris. Morris looking to drive. Gets it right across to Robinson. And there we get, that was Francis who was blocked on that one. Now we get Kayla Clausen bringing the ball up for the Centurions. She gets it out to Sangaway. Sangaway into Foster. Foster looking to drive, but a great block by Sarah McDonald. Baker with the ball, but that went out of bounds. It looked like it went off the foot of Morris, but a foul being called on the play against Fort Richmond.
Third personal foul to number 4, Tolu Ilel-Boye. Second team foul of the half charged against Fort Richmond.
We had Fort Richmond being just a little bit too aggressive that time.
2 fouls apiece right now. Robinson with the ball for the Pipers. Gets it back to Morris. Morris looking to drive, looking to set things up. They're not clearing it out at all. They're really clogging that key area. They get it inside to McDonald, unable to hold on to that, but she gets it out to Baker. Baker turns, but we get a 3-second violation counted.
Returning to the game for the Pipers.
That was too bad for Haley. She
number
did a
10,
good
Crystal
job picking up
Hathaway.
that loose ball. She had to go
entering
right up
the game
against
for
the
Fort Richmond,
offensive
number 6, Deandra Tworden.
Tworden in for Fort Richmond. Clausen with the ball right now. Clausen to Olford. Olford getting it out to Foster. Foster unable to hold on to that one, but Clausen gets the ball. She's looking to drive. We'll see what happens here. They back out to Foster. Foster with the jump shot. Very solid shooter for Fort Richmond, but Morris gets the ball. She's looking to go straight to the hoop. We'll see what Clausen can do to stop her. Clausen fouls her on the play. The ball goes in, and that puts Morris to the line.
Well, folks, that all started at the defensive end of the floor. Once again, on the miss, what John Taylor does
number
is they
7,
go man-to-man defense instead of the
13th foul of the half charged against Fort
and
Richmond.
that, of course, made for the loose ball. And once Morris gets it, you know she's going to the hoop.
That's right. I don't think we've seen her stop yet. She just goes straight to the hoop, and a great board there. That's Francis who came down with that board and put it in. And they are right back in this game, 42-38, trailing by 4. And Francis with the ball, ready to inbound the ball, but we've got a sub. The sub's not in yet. They're looking to put Clausen back in, and McDonald goes up for 2. They cut this down to 2.
I think we're going to call a timeout here for Coach Lafferty, and she does. What we had is 7 quick points there by the Pipers, and we had Fort Richmond a little bit confused as to what they wanted to do.
We'll see if we can listen in to Allison Lafferty and the Fort Richmond timeout.
With that get to the spot, and when we're not getting a good enough safety, right? That ball came, Kayla or Tessa, whoever it is, the safety, make sure you're pulling back. So now, if they get on a run, you get right there, okay? Offensively, keep looking. I'm seeing Jen open inside. Doesn't mean that Jen's got to look to score every time, but at least it's forcing them to pull down and opens our outside up. Okay? Like, go with what's comfortable. Sarah's jumping. She's blocked a couple of your shots now. Get her out in the air and go to the basket. What's that?
good timeout there by Coach Lafferty. What she wants to do is settle the Centurions down a little bit. And as you can see, what we're going to need right now, if we're Fort Richmond, we need a good offensive conversion here.
It's going to be very important, I think, momentum-wise for Fort Richmond to score here, because they had an 8-point lead and it's now down to 2. So this could be a very critical turning point in the second half here. They get it into Foster. Foster known for her outside shot, so is Olford. And a steal there by Robinson, but unable to hold on to it.
Robinson being real active here at the defensive end. Stephanie's going to have to make sure she puts a little bit behind that pass.
Foster to Clausen. We see both Clausen twins on the floor right now. Foster with the outside shot, and a very important basket for Fort Richmond. 44-40. They lead. Still 14 minutes left. Lots of time to play in the second half.
Well, as Coach Lafferty said, that if you're Fort Richmond, you want to go to Foster, but that doesn't mean she has to try and score all the time. But when she's wide open, she's going to take that shot.
No question. There we saw McDonald go up. She missed that one, but then we saw the rebound.
First personal foul to number 6, Deandra Twerden.
Puts her to the line.
Fourth team foul of the half charged against Fort Richmond.
Right now, we've got John Taylor starting to do a real good job on the offensive glass.
Tremaine Francis successful with the first foul shot.
Murray.
Into the game right now is Brittany Murray. She replaced DeWanda Twerden. There we get a nice board by Foster. Foster gets it out to Tessa Clausen. Tessa Clausen bringing the ball up for the Centurions. She gets it out to her sister, Kayla. Foster with the in-turn. Just a little short, and coming down with that once again is Tremaine Francis. Francis doing a great job on the boards for John Taylor. Morris driving. She just steps around. Was she fouled on the play?
He's going to go shoot 2.
Third personal foul to number 7, Kayla
Once again, if you're the Fort Richmond Centurions, if you let John Taylor penetrate, especially this woman, it causes trouble for you.
Morris causing a lot of difficulty for the entire Centurion defense. We've got both Clausen twins with 3 fouls apiece right now. Get a look at Ashley Morris, number 7th ranked player in the top 10. We had a late violation, I believe.
That's referee Monday catching the violation there. John Taylor, man-to-man.
Sorry, Tessa Clausen, number 6 player in the province. She gets the ball to Olford, out to Foster. Look for Foster to take that shot. She tries to get that inside to Murray, but a steal there by Morris. Morris looking to drive. She goes straight to the hoop, and it just drops in. Press being put on right now by John Taylor. Clausen doing a good job here. She gets it to her sister. Kayla with the ball, slowing things up. She gets it up to Olford, who's wide open with the outside 3. Does it drop in? It doesn't. There we get a travel ball being called against John Taylor. Fort Richmond to inbound the ball.
John Taylor is doing a really good job right now, offensively and defensively on the glass. We got Coach Taylor here. She's wondering what the call. There was really no possession.
Foster with the outside shot. That's a little short, but she comes down with her own rebound just out of pure hustle. Clausen getting it out to Olford. Olford with the outside shot, a little short. Was she fouled on the play? No. No foul. And once again, Richmond coming down with a lot of boards, and it goes out again to Olford. Olford with the shot, and fouled on the play by Tremaine Francis. That'll put Olford to the line.
Third person.
Well, Tremaine got away with one a little bit earlier, and she fouled Stephanie, and that would have been at the 3-point line. This time she fouled her, and Stephanie's only going to the line to shoot 2.
If it works the first time, you might as well try it again until you're busted. Olford good on the first one, 45-43. Fort Richmond leads. We'll see how Olford does with the second, and she's good on the second. 3-point lead right now. 12 minutes and 45 seconds left to play in the second half of the 2005 Girls Provincial Basketball Championship Final. Robinson with the ball. She gets it out to Morris. Morris getting it back to Robinson. They get it inside to McDonald. McDonald double team, triple team as a matter of fact. She goes up strong and drains one.
That was it. Tough hoop, folks.
Foster back to Clausen. Clausen looking to drive. She dishes it off. But Sangaway gets it out to Foster. Foster left open. You don't want to leave Foster out in the open either. And Francis coming down with the ball. She gets it out to Morris. Morris, you know, is not going to slow down. Will she drive in or dish it off? She goes up strong. Misses it. McDonald comes down with the rebound. Goes up strong, but is fouled on the play. That'll put McDonald to the line.
Well, you saw John Taylor there. They had the odd man advantage, and you know for sure that
second personal
Ashley
foul
was
to
going
number
to take
5,
it to the
Rufaro
hoop.
Sangarwe.
Good follow by McDonald, and she's going to be
16th foul
rewarded
of
by
the half.
2 foul shots.
Charged against
Good
Fort
on that
Richmond.
first one.
McDonald
Sarah
at the line.
McDonald, 6'1". Short on the second one, but Robinson coming down with the rebound. It's Hathaway with the shot. Again, Hathaway gets it out to Morris. Morris looking to drive. Dishes it off to Robinson, also a track and field athlete, just a little short. McDonald coming down with that, unable to control it, but gets it to Robinson, who looks to drive, goes up strong, and drains it.
Tanisha
That's a big
Robinson.
move by John Taylor, but once again, for Richmond, you've got to block out. You can't give them 3 kicks at the can.
And John Taylor takes the lead, 48-46. So we've seen the lead change hands a couple of times here in the second half. Foster looking to drive, goes up with the jump shot, in and out. But again, John Taylor kind of standing around on that rebound, allowing Fort Richmond to grab that ball.
Coach Leping is pretty angry here right now. You saw that John Taylor goes to the 2-3 zone on the made basket, but that
Third
doesn't
personal
mean, just
foul
as you
to number
said,
11,
Missy,
Ashley
don't stand
Morris.
around. You still have to
14th
block
foul
out.
of the half charged against John Taylor.
I think John Taylor needs to be a lot
Murray
more
at the line,
aggressive on the
shooting
boards
2.
right now. They kind of stood around and let the ball come to them. They've got to go out and grab that ball, not allow Fort Richmond a second
Returning
or
to
third
the game for the
opportunity, and
Pipers,
it also
number
cost
14,
them
Haley
a
Baker.
foul and also put Richmond to the line. Shooting right now is number 14, Brittany Murray. She's good on the first and short on the second, and there we get Baker with the rebound, gets it out to Morris. Goes up strong. Looked like Clausen got a piece of that one.
Good job that time by Tessa. What she made Ashley do, of course, was change her shot.
So I threw her off a little bit. Tessa gets that ball into Baker. Baker goes up strong. No contact there. And Morris, here she goes. We'll see if Clausen can establish her position. Turns. And a great shot by Morris. 50-47. Clausen going up. And it looked like McDonald had very good position there. Clausen just went around her and drove right in.
John Taylor, now we're talking the last half of the second half, and the legs are starting to become a question here. You can see that on that made hoop that John Taylor didn't get into their 1-2-2 to the positions that they wanted, and Fort Richmond made them pay.
Yeah, Robinson almost traveled with that ball. Morris outside, looking to drive, gets it inside to McDonald, who didn't convert on that one. We had Francis go up, but the ball was knocked away. Now we've got Tessa Clausen bringing the ball up for the Centurions. We'll see what Fort Richmond can do. They get it out to Foster with the outside shot, and nothing but net. And enough has been seen by the coaches of John Taylor. They call a timeout, and they also trail again by 1 point, 51-50. We'll listen into this timeout. What?
No. White, listen closely. We call back to 2-3. 2-3. Somebody clean that up. 2-3 in on the score with no bump. Man in transition. Okay, we're going to pull back on the pressure for now. But that means defensively at this end of the floor, we got to be all over the place. Okay? More pressure on Ada's a shooter. We know she wants to create space and take that. So we have to be up on her. Make her penetrate. Push the ball in transition offensively. Okay? Tremaine, you've got to flash hard to ball and want it. Okay? You have to flash hard and want it. When they come to you, when you get the ball and they come to you, you've got Sarah sliding across in the post. You've got Haley dropping for that open shot. Okay? And Tanisha always looking to penetrate. Always looking to penetrate. I haven't seen them stop your penetration. Okay? Here we go. D is 2-3 on the score.
good timeout by the John Taylor coaching staff. Once again, they just want to make sure that everybody's on the same page. We see the one difference that they are going to do, of course, is on the made basket. We are not going to see pressure like we saw before. But once again, we're talking about just under 10 minutes left in this game, Missy, and legs are going to be important here right now.
So these players have been on the floor a lot, not really a lot of substitution, which is pretty common when you're in a big game like this. They're going with their starters. There we get an outside shot by Baker. Robinson keeps that ball alive. McDonald going up, and she's fouled on the play by Tolu Ilelaboye.
That was great hustle by Robinson once again. Stephanie Olford thought that ball was going out of bounds, and she gave up on it, but Robinson did not. She made that foul happen.
Well, we can see why Robinson's also involved in track and field, as she hustles on the basketball court as well. Twerden back in the game. She replaces Lelaboye. At the line right now is Sarah McDonald. We are tied at 51 apiece, and John Taylor takes a 1-point lead. Dwerden with the ball. She gets it out to Clausen. That's Tessa Clausen. Tessa gets it out to Foster. Foster had a double-double in their semifinal. And there we get Olford with an outside shot. Boy, she is hot from the outside right now. That's her third three-pointer in the second half alone.
Well, they've showed her you cannot leave Stephanie alone. She's not afraid to take that shot.
And there we get a steal by Clausen. Clausen looking to drive. Morris trying to get position. Good stop and jumper by Clausen. Had she drove, probably would have been called on the charge.
Good job, as we say, put Ashley back on her heels. Good stop and pop that time by Tessa.
Remember, both Clausens are sitting at 3 fouls apiece. McDonald going up strong. Triple team, but going up strong using her height to her advantage.
We've got to get a little more pressure on that wing entry if we're Fort Richmond.
Oh, and there we get a steal by McDonald, showing that she can hustle.
Robinson has just been far too successful with that entry.
Olford inbounding the ball to Clausen. Clausen gets it into Clausen with a jumper, and she drains that one. 58-54. Richmond with the lead by 4. This has probably changed hands 3 or 4 times, and I'm sure it's not over because there's still lots of time left. 8 minutes and 19 seconds left.
That was a good cut that time by Tremaine. She went going hard. She wants the ball.
Crystal Hathaway back into the game for John Taylor.
10, Crystal Hathaway.
She'll inbound the ball. Look like the officials, Mike Mile and Jerry Monday, are checking something out here. It's already 17 fouls against the visitors, which is Fort Richmond.
You seem to have a little problem here with the clock.
Robinson with the ball. She looks to drive. Foster, good defense. Clausen comes down with the ball, gives it off to her sister. Tessa Clausen for the Centurions, looking to set things up, gets it into Foster. Foster drives, but we've got a block being called against number 10, that's Crystal Hathaway. Didn't quite establish position.
Didn't establish position there once again.
Second personal foul.
We've got to put some pressure on the pass for both of these teams, and we've got to make sure that on the big players, whether it be McDonald for John Taylor or Foster for Fort Richmond, that we start playing them tough.
There we get good movement, inbounding the ball, and a three-pointer. That's Tessa Clausen, the number 6 player in the top 10 in the province.
That was a great job by Tessa as she cuts to the far side. We've got a timeout by John Taylor. They've seen enough.
And another good timeout by John Taylor as they had the lead and once again watched it sort of go away from them, 61-54. Let's listen in to the timeout.
Okay? The long shot. We're right up on that, but none of their girls can beat us to the hoop. Okay? So we're moving our feet defensively. We're in man all the time. Everybody's shot goes up. All 5 of us boxing out hard, then pushing the ball up. Until they take away inside, gals, we use that inside position, okay?
saw a point being given to Fort Richmond during our timeout. That's got to be a good timeout for Fort Richmond, but that is the correct score. It is 61-54, 7:51 left in the second half of the girls' championship final here.
We're going to see a lot of pressure here from John Taylor.
Morris with the ball. She gets it to Hathaway, out to Robinson. Robinson gets it into Francis. Francis back out to Hathaway. Hathaway looking to drive. Good defense by the Centurions. Tessa Clausen bringing the ball up for Fort Richmond. Gets it inside to Foster. Foster's been very strong. She goes up strong, but is fouled on the play by Sarah McDonald. That'll put her to the line.
That's a good job by Jen taking the ball to the hole. Fort Richmond wants to play a tough man-to-man down here.
McDonald.
Jen Foster's at the line right now. She had 19 points, 13 rebounds in her semifinal game against Glenlawn, where they defeated the reigning champions. Foster with the second shot, and it's short. McDonald coming down with the board for the Pipers. She gets it out to Morris. Morris looking to bring things down the court for the Pipers. We'll see what she can do. She dishes it off to Robinson. Robinson takes a look back to Morris, and a steal there by Clausen. That's Kayla Clausen. Gets it to her sister and then back. Oh, maybe one pass too many. She was wide open. She should have gone to the hoop. And there we get Morris going to the hoop. And a great effort once again by Francis, but unable to control that ball.
Jermaine is doing a good job at on the offensive glass. We're going to see now John Taylor. I'm expecting some strong man-to-man. Half court by them.
Kayla Clausen gets it to Foster. Foster again with that outside shot. That one just not dropping in. Morris bringing the ball down for John Taylor. Goes around Clausen and puts it in. A much-needed basket for John Taylor at this point.
You're going to see some tough man-to-man half court again by John Taylor. They want to make the Centurions turn that ball over.
Foster getting it out to Alford, and you want to watch her, and she drives. Instead of shooting outside, she drives, and it's just a little short. Good defense by the Pipers. Morris bringing the ball up, looking to drive again. And we saw Clausen coming right out. She was even moving, but Morris drops it in. 61-58 is our score. 6:10 left, and we get another timeout being called. Let's listen in to the Fort Richmond timeout.
Just break up the momentum here, girls, but at the same time, you know what, Tessa, you're doing the right thing. Hey, she's finishing. She doesn't always finish. Try and beat her more into, she's wanting to go in that block, so you find that spot. Hey, just don't make sure you don't reach. Be smart. Hey, you can get a little bit more aggressive. Now, what I want to see, though, is when she gets on that run, the rest of you better be sprinting down there, because right now I see people behind, not full-out sprinting. If you're getting tired, let me know. I'll get you a sub. Okay? Offensively, we need to board. We had a nice shot, and then no one boarded. Get aggressive. Get hungry. Get in there. They're back in the man-to-man. So reversal, we can pull out our fours and our fives. Hey, they can go one-on-one. Let's get that movement going. Okay? But we've got to get more aggressive on the board. Okay? Let's go. FRC, 1, 2, 3.
Once again, Coach Lafferty, what she wants to do is she wants to spark her charges here a little bit. She's saying that we're starting to lull ourselves to sleep a little bit. Let's get going. Let's get on the boards. Let's get moving. John Taylor, of course, they've sprung to life. They've, just as I said, they've come out with the strong man-to-man here half court, and they've caused Fort Richmond to end up with, they haven't scored in the last 2 minutes.
Fort Richmond seems to come out in spurts. They get a bit of a lead, and then they allow John Taylor to come back into it. And then they get a lead, and they allow John Taylor to come back into it. So good comments again by Coach, also telling them to be aggressive. Get hungry out there. You got to get some of these boards. Olford at the baseline, ready to inbound the ball for Fort Richmond. She gets it out to Gordon. Foster out to Clausen. Clausen with the outside shot. Doesn't drop in. Francis with the rebound. And a steal there by Clausen.
Oh, that's going to be a charge.
Leans into. That was Hathaway she leaned into. And a charge being called against Foster.
Ashley Morris, very lucky there. She started dribbling and going up the court before she even looked.
They
That's gonna
called
be double dribble.
Good call by referee Martha Bradbury. Morris with the ball for the Pipers. Once again looking to set things up on the offense forward. John Taylor. Robinson gets it back to Morris. Morris looking to drive. Stepping in was Foster, but dishing it off to Francis. Francis going up strong. It's a 1-point game.
Once again, good penetration by John Taylor. Francis has done a great job for John Taylor in the second half.
No question. She has definitely been a presence on the floor for the Pipers. Olford looking to drive. She dishes it out to Clausen. Clausen back to Foster. Foster all the way out to Clausen. She's looking to drive. Takes a jump shot back. Francis gets a piece of it and a piece of Clausen. That'll put Clausen to the line.
Fourth personal foul to number
Much better
5,
ball movement
Francis.
this time by the Centurions,
Foul
and
of
that's
the
what they're
half.
going to have to do for the rest of this game.
Both these teams in a bonus situation. And I believe that was Francis' fourth foul.
You're Fort Richmond down at this end. You want to have that ball movement. You want to use those skip passes, and you want to use the speed of the Clausen twins. We've seen how Kayla has managed a number of times to take it to the baseline.
Tessa Clausen missing both those. Morris taking a look, slowing things up for John Taylor. They trailed by 1, but have brought themselves right back into this championship final. Morris looking to dish off and then to drive, but a little short. And once again, Francis getting that board and going up strong and fouled on the play. I believe this foul will go against number 6, Dwerden.
Francis is doing a great job on the
Second
offensive
personal
board.
foul to number 6,
I think
Deandra
what we're going to
Twerden.
have to do if we're Fort
foul
Richmond,
of the half
we're going
charged
to have
against
to put
Fort Richmond.
Yulita Boye out there, and we're going to have to get some more height on the boards.
Francis misses that first one back into the game, and this is a person that Fort Richmond definitely needs, and you called it. Toilu Elaboye, much needed height. She replaces Dwerden, who did a very good job for Fort Richmond while she was on. Francis taking her second shot here, and there we get Elaboye with the rebound. Clausen bringing the ball up for the Centurions. A 1-point game here, Laurie.
Yulita Boye's got to watch herself. She's got 4.
Olford with the outside shot, but it looked like Hathaway got a piece of that one. Morris bringing the ball up for John Taylor. She goes up strong and drains it, and they once again take the lead 62-61.
Morrison comes down the center of the floor and then veers to her right-hand side. What Clausen's got to do is play her a little bit more for that.
That's right.
See if she can cross over.
Make her go left. That ball out of bounds off John Taylor. So Stephanie Olford to inbound the ball for the Centurions. 62-61. We only have 3 minutes and 39 seconds left in the second half of this championship final.
Lots of time here. All the Centurions got to do is move that ball.
Clausen driving. Oh, she dishes it off. But that ball knocked out of bounds by Crystal Hathaway. Foster with the ball, looking to drive in, a nice hook shot, doesn't drop in. Francis with the ball, press being put on by a couple of the Centurions. Morris looking to drive, dishes it off to Robinson.
There's no height here right now. We got to go into Francis, and that's going to be Yulita Boye's 5th.
And it looked like she got the ball there, but she was on the side, and a lot of times he'll always call that. We'll see if that was.
Foul to number 12, Stephanie Olford. 10th team foul of the half.
It's going to go to Alford
against Fort Richmond.
Oh, they gave it to Alford. Okay.
McDonald at the line.
They're going to go for Alford underneath with the body.
That's a nice break for Alela Boye, that's for sure. McDonald at the line. Misses that second one, gets
That's
her
Francis again.
Francis with the rebound, but unfortunately, while trying to control that ball, she got called on the travel.
Imperative here for Fort Richmond to come down, move the ball, and get a good offensive conversion.
And there we get another timeout being called by Fort Richmond. They trail right now by 2, 63-61. Only 3 minutes and 14 seconds left. Let's see if we can listen in to the Fort Richmond timeout.
Now, girls, we haven't done this yet, and it's going to work. They're in man-to-man, so let's reverse the ball and get her going through. Okay? Pull out our post, and if that's there,
Sounds like we lost a little bit of contact there on that last time out.
There's lots of time left, Missy, but I don't know, even with 3:14 left on the clock, I'm feeling like overtime.
I was just going to say, actually, it's got the feeling of overtime. There's no question. We've seen the lead change hands probably 5 or 6 times now.
It's been amazing.
It's only a 2-point basket, and Fort Richmond has the ball right now, so they could tie things up. And I could see them just changing ends all the time now.
Well, both teams are so evenly matched, and like you say, you've seen this. I mean, if one or the other does not crack, overtime becomes a possibility.
Oh, and then we had a steal almost by Morris, but that ball goes out of bounds. Boy, that's been a few collisions between Morris and Tessa Clausen.
Stephanie's got to make sure she puts a little bit of oomph on that pass, because just as Kayla Clausen can shoot the gap, so can Ashley Morris.
Oh, another steal there. Oh, but Olford comes up with the ball. Again, Francis with the rebound. She is just all over the place. She's looking to drive straight to the hoop. No one's going to get in her way. Misses that one, but McDonald comes down with it. We've got a jump ball being called, and the possession goes to John Taylor.
That was a good move by Ashley Morris, of all people. She moved out along the three-point line. She was trying to tell Sarah McDonald to kick it back outside, but unfortunately she got tied up.
Robinson with the ball. She's taking it outside, looking to set things up. She gets it out to Hathaway. Hathaway at the shot, little short. Foster comes down with a much-needed rebound.
Good defensive block out by Jen Foster.
Clausen gets the ball to Olford. She gets it inside to Lelaboy, who doesn't shoot, but Olford dishes it out to Clausen. Clausen looking to take an outside shot. Doing a good job with the ball. She gets it out to Olford, and a steal by Morris. This could be a critical point here, and she drains it. 2 minutes left. Fort Richmond down by 4 now. They need a basket now.
Go inside.
I'd be getting it for sure to the 6-footer. Toilu, Lelaboy, get it inside her. Foster with the shot. She's also been hot for the Centurions. Foster looking to drive. She goes up strong. No foul being called, but Lelaboy gets the board and is fouled on the play, and that'll put her to the line. We'll see what the Centurions can do at the line.
4th personal foul to number 15, Sarah McDonald. 8th team foul of the half, charged against John Taylor. Ilel Boye at the line, shooting 2.
Good offensive rebound by Ilel Boye, and more importantly, McDonald picks up her 4th.
And John Taylor went into overtime, I believe, against Dakota. So they're used to that overtime, and Morris was clutch at the line. Lelaboy missing that first one. We'll see if she can get the second one, and if not, we'll see if Foster or Olford can get the board. But she makes the second one. Good shot under pressure. Morris with the ball. We have a minute and a half left. 3-point lead by John Taylor. Morris with the ball right now. Good defense by Clausen. Robinson with the ball, gets it back to Morris. Out to Robinson. Robinson not looking to shoot right now. Gets it back to Morris. 10 seconds left on the clock. Hathaway with the ball. She looks to drive and is short.
Oh, that's
Olford.
a big board by Olford.
No question, one of the biggest boards that she may have in her
Tessa
career.
going to the hole.
Short, but Lelaboy came down with it, but Morris just ripped it right out of her hands. We have 1 minute left, 65-62. 3-point lead for the Pipers. Fort Richmond may have to foul. Robinson with it. 16 seconds left on the shot clock. 45 seconds left. Morris looking to drive. Robinson wide open, not shooting. Goes to drive and is fouled on the play. I believe that will go to Lelaboy, and that could be
foul,
her fifth.
That was a huge foul with just 3 seconds
4th
left on the
personal
shot
foul to
clock.
number 9, Tessa
It's going to
Clausen.
go against Clausen and not you, Lelaboy.
Timeout
Boy, they
for
keep
Richmond.
Lelaboy in there.
65-62.
Good for
Okay,
Richmond.
gals.
We'll listen
All we
in to
need
the
to
John
do
Taylor
is play
timeout.
good, tough defense once Tanisha can see. Good, tough defense. They're going to want 7 and 9 to be shooting the ball long range, or 12. Okay? We are up, pressuring the shot, make them beat us with penetration, and we've got good, healthy
They understand what their defensive scheme is for John Taylor. And I'll tell you right now, it's defense. It's defense that's going to win you a championship here.
Got Tanisha Robinson at the line for John Taylor. They're already set up. Fort Richmond trailing right now by 3. Still looking to capture their first provincial championship. If John Taylor takes this one, it's their third. First one in about 11 years.
Well, Tanisha has a little bit of pressure on her here. She's got to make one of these because it'll make it a 2-possession game.
A bit of pressure at the line right now. We'll see what Robinson can do. She makes the first.
That's a great stroke by Robinson. It makes this a 2-possession game with 41 seconds left.
See if she can make this second one. And they've been asked to just play some solid defense. She misses that one. Foster coming down with it. We're going to see some quick shots, I'm sure, by Richmond because there's only 35 seconds left. Still enough time. You never know. Oh, and a steal by Morris.
There's
Morris.
your MVP.
No question. Makes sure on that one.
Ball game.
25 seconds. We'll see what Clausen can do. They've got to take some quick shots now. They might take some 3-pointers here. Looking to drive. She goes in, drains it. 68-64. 16 seconds left. They got a foul. Foster with the foul. Good foul by Foster.
Good quick foul.
Still 14 seconds left. Lots of time.
14 seconds. 2-possession game.
Fourth personal foul.
Ashley Morris makes one of these, and I think it's good night for Richmond.
And this is a person that was
Morris
at the line in their
2.
overtime game in the semifinal. Ashley Morris had 21 points in that game. And she forced overtime and also clutched the win. And just makes that one. Looked like she was trying to help that one in. 69-64, 14 seconds left. We've got a sub coming in. Haley Baker in. She replaces Tremaine Francis.
Tremaine Francis has done an excellent job for John Taylor here in the second half.
We've got Clausen getting the ball out to Clausen. We'll see if she can take an outside shot here. Outside 2-pointer attempt, and that ball goes out of bounds off John Taylor. That went off Hathaway. 5 seconds left. How about a fast shot and a foul on the play? You never know.
Watch for Tessa Class on this.
Foster going up. She goes up, but no foul. And a little boy goes up, misses a shot. Time runs out. John Taylor takes this one. 69-64.
The final score of the 2005 4A Provincial High School Basketball
Congratulations,
Champions.
John Taylor. An excellent job in the second half. The penetration by the John Taylor Pipers. The Fort Richmond Centurions could not handle that.
John Taylor.
They had a number of people step up.
69.
One of them was Francis. She did an excellent job in the second half. As we said right at the beginning of the telecast, Missy, it was the guard play that was going to decide which team was going to win here today.
That's right. We had the Clausens on the one side. We had Morris on the other side. Clausen's getting into a little bit of foul trouble. That could have hurt them a little bit, but we did see Fort Richmond come out with a few spurts where they had an 8-point lead there for a while, but got to give credit to John Taylor for not giving up and just kept fighting and cutting that lead down.
Good job by the Centurions, though. They were there, as you said. What they did is they managed to get that lead, and unfortunately, there wasn't the consistency. You mentioned earlier, too many spurts is what they were doing.
But I have to admit, Lori, this is probably one of the most exciting girls' championship finals that we have seen in years. Both these teams really played well. We saw the lead change hands, probably 5-6, might even be more than that now. I'm sure it's more than that. And this one even looked like it could go into overtime. So a great final.
The
Good
player
job
of the
to
game
both
from Fort
these
Richmond
teams.
Collegiate, number 7, Kayla Clausen.
Take a listen into the public address announcer as he announces a player of the
Presenting
game.
the Bison player of the game.
Kayla had a great game.
Also from the Manitoba Bisons, first-year forward Rochelle Hardy-Edwards, a graduate of Dakota Collegiate. 2 from the John Taylor Pipers, number 11, Ashley Morris.
Without a doubt.
No question.
Fans, it is now time for the awards presentation of the 2005 4A Provincial High School Basketball Championships. We would like to congratulate both teams for an exciting performance. We would also like to take the opportunity to acknowledge our corporate partners, the Dairy Farmers of Manitoba, our major corporate sponsor for this event, as well as McDonald's Restaurants of Manitoba, Manitoba Telecom Services, Manitoba's Credit Unions, Manitoba Hydro, Fila Sportswear, Culligan Water, the Winnipeg Free Press, Wilson Sports, Sport Manitoba, and the University of Manitoba. We would also like to welcome our awards presenters, David Weens, from the Board of Directors of the Dairy Farmers of Manitoba, Ross Metcalf, the President of the Manitoba High Schools Athletic Association, now could we please ask the captains of Fort Richmond Collegiate to come up and accept the MHSAA finalist banner. And now would the following athletes from Fort Richmond please come up to accept their finalist medallions. Number 3, Julie Rempel. Number 4, Tolu Ilelboye. Number 5, Rufaro Sangarwe. Number 6, Deandra Twerden. Number 7, Kayla Clausen. Number 8, Jen Foster. Number 9, Tessa Clausen. Number 10, Shayna Robinson. Number 11, Cara Lodowicz. Number 13, Sabrina Legere. Number 12, Stephanie Olford. And number 14, Brittany Murray. The assistant coaches, Michelle Edwards and Erica Ing. Athletic therapist, Melissa Skraybeck. And the head coach of the Centurions, Allison Lafferty. Fans, let's hear it for our finalist team, the Fort Richmond Collegiate Centurions. Now we would like to ask the captains of John Taylor to come up and accept the championship banner and championship trophy. We would like to ask the following players to please come up to accept the championship t-shirts and championship medallions. Number 1, Tanisha Robinson. Number 2, Carly Muth. Number 3, Danelle Johnson. Number 4, Sandra Morton. Number 5, Tremaine Francis. Number 10, Crystal Hathaway. Number 11, Ashley Morris. Number 13, Chelsea Breland. Number 14, Haley Baker. Number 15, Sarah McDonald. number 21, Brenna Philp, and number 23, Katrina Robinson. Now we'd like to call on the coaches of John Taylor, Jana Taylor, and Susie Leping. Fans, let's hear it for our Provincial 4A High School Girls Champion, the John Taylor Collegiate Pipers. The Manitoba High School Athletic Association would like to acknowledge this year's 4A High School All-Star team. Before the All-Star selections are made, we would like to take this opportunity to recognize this year's Dairy Farmers of Manitoba Players' Choice Award as selected by the athletes participating in this year's Final Four. This year's Players' Choice Award winner is from Fort Richmond, number 4, Tolu Ilalboye. Now we would like to announce the All-Stars of this year's 4A Provincial Girls All-Star team. From Dakota, number 21, Sarah Riley. Sarah, if you are in attendance, please make your way down to court level. From Glenlawn, number 4, Georgia Harvey. From John Taylor Collegiate, number 15, Sarah McDonald. From Fort Richmond, number 8, Jen Foster. And also from Fort Richmond, number 7, Kayla Clausen. Now we would like to announce the winner of the 2005 4A Provincial High School Basketball MVP. This year's most valuable player of the 4A Provincial Girls High School Basketball Championship is from John Taylor Collegiate, number 11, Ashley Morris. Fans, let's hear it for our All-Stars. From Dakota Collegiate, number 21, Sarah Riley. From Glenlawn, number 4, Georgia Harvey. From John Taylor, number 15, Sarah McDonald. From Fort Richmond, number 8, Jen Foster. From Fort Richmond, number 7, Kayla Clausen. And this year's most valuable player,
hi,
from John Taylor, number 11, Ashley Morris.
As you should. As you should. cameraman here and we'll get you on.
Congratulations once again to this year's champions of the 4A High School Girls Basketball Championship, the John Taylor Collegiate Pipers. The boys 4A final is next.
That concludes the presentation of all the All-Star Awards, the trophy, the banner. Congratulations to John Taylor with the 69-64 victory over Fort Richmond. A great, great final.
Well, it was just, as you said, a great final. It was a great game. It was well coached. As we said at the beginning of the telecast, there were certain things that we're going to tell, and that happened to be the guard play. Also, the inside presence of Foster for Fort Richmond and McDonald for John Taylor can't be excluded either. It was a great game. The lead changed many times. We were thinking overtime. It was well coached. Everything was great.
No question, it was exactly what you'd want in a provincial final. And at this point, we're actually going to go courtside to Jim Toth and an interview with Janet Taylor.
Thank you very much, Susan Lapina and Janet Taylor, both coaches from the Provincial 4A champion girls Pipers basketball team. How does that feel?
It feels excellent. This is something Jana and I experienced as players, and to be able to pass that on to the next generation of Pipers, it feels unbelievable.
I don't want to give away your guys' ages, but it has been over 10 years since this was done. Not saying much, but obviously it's got to be good to both do it as players and then return it to the students as coaches. Sorry, it must be nice to do it again as coaches and show the players what you guys went through as players.
Yeah. I mean, 11 years ago today at the University of Manitoba, we were winning this as players. And for our girls to have that experience, we know how much it meant to us as players. And for our girls to have the experience, it's wonderful. And they worked so hard for it all year. And I don't know that people expected us to be in this final, but through the hard work that those girls put out, I mean, they just willed this game to a W for John Taylor.
Excellent game as well. It was a close game. You guys trailed through most of it, but not by much. Was it tough staying that close and then taking a lead late in the game? How did you approach it?
Personally, I think if we can stay close with any team, that bodes well for us, because we're the type of team, they have hearts of champions, our kids, and they don't want to lose. So if we can stay close in any game, I'm going to put the money on us. We stay close.
When you guys won, I heard chants of Cinderella. Do you guys feel like a Cinderella team this year?
Well, I don't think when we lost our first game of the year by about 40 to Glenmont, I don't think we were thinking provincial championship at that point. But, I mean, we started to play really well about a month ago, and the girls just, as hard as they play, when you put it all together, it turned into something really special, and so we couldn't be more proud of our kids. It's
a total team effort, but it looked to me when the going got tough, Ashley Moore's really stepped up and sort of was a spark plug on your guys' team.
She's a player who started with our team in grade 10. She played grade 10, 11, and 12 and started in every single game at varsity level. She never missed a game or practice due to anything, and I can't say enough about how hard that kid works. And what happened was the rest of our team just followed her example. And she's such a top-notch kid. Jan and I are going to miss that kid tremendously next year.
Ladies, thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you.
Once again, the two head coaches from the provincial champion John Taylor Pipers girls basketball team. Now, basketball is a strong tradition throughout the province of Manitoba, and Bob Baker talks about the Manitoba Basketball Hall of Fame.
Opening its door